Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from the AAMP.TV mobile studios here in downtown Las Vegas. That's AAMP.TV. Today's show is brought to you by Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, drunk in public. Who knows? Maybe somebody dropped a bunch of cash out of a helicopter. You got hit with a brick of money. You never know. For more information, contact the folks at Legal Shield for more help, or some information nonetheless, at 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. Or visit them online for more information at nocourt.us. That's nocourt.us. And welcome into everybody listening in on Magic 97.9 FM right here in Las Vegas. A big hello to our friends over in the greater Atlanta market on WDJY, as well as our friends in Southern Alabama on the Florida Panhandle on Talk 1490 WIRB, and everybody else streaming and listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, hotel television, and everywhere else around the world. We have a very special guest right from the very top. That's our co-pilot. Let's let him introduce himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, soccer fans of all ages, my name is Brett Lashbrook, owner and CEO of your professional soccer team, Las Vegas Lights FC, coming from downtown Las Vegas. And what are we going to do, Sal, today?
We're going to get lit.
There we go.
It's great stuff. Folks, you're in for a real treat here, man. This is a very interesting guy. I tell you what. Brett, give everybody kind of the 30-second on how you got involved in soccer real quick and a little bit about your background. Let's dig into it.
Sure. So born and raised in the Kansas City area, and way, but with the Kansas City back in 1996, and that has grown 25 years later into a career working with various soccer organizations and soccer leagues. Spent 7 years working for Major League Soccer headquarters as first legal counsel and then special assistant to the commissioner. From that, transitioned, really wanted to get on the team side, moved down to Orlando, Florida, where they had a successful USL team and had a path to become a Major League Soccer team, and led that effort on the business side of launching Orlando City as a Major League Soccer team and building a 20,000 seat stadium right there on Church Street next to Amway Arena and everything else with the NBA. And then my family had moved out to Las Vegas 25 years ago. And so I've been coming here. I'm not a local, but I've been coming here for Christmases for 20 plus years. So I felt like it. And I moved out here in 2015. For a variety of reasons, but my mom was having some health issues. She's fine now. And I thought I was going to stay 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And, it quickly turned into 2+ years. And I realized, what do I know how to do? I know how to help soccer teams. I know how to start teams. And I saw two things here in Las Vegas. One, it was the second largest city in the world without a professional soccer team, only behind Detroit Motor City, which I think that's the only thing they're number one in the world at. But I saw a real opportunity. And then the second thing is, it's not hard finding soccer fans in America. It just isn't. What's hard is building stadiums. What's hard is finding stadiums that work. And as you know, Sal, living here, we got a beautiful 10,000 seats stadium that was being used for AAA baseball. That team was getting ready to transition out to the suburbs. And here in the heart of downtown Las Vegas, we had a 10,000 seat baseball stadium that was a square. It's the only baseball stadium in the world that is a square. It fit perfectly for soccer. And the mayor wanted to fill the void. My family left up this light soccer team about 3.5 years ago.
All right. I've been to that stadium many times when the Las Vegas 51s were playing, and it's a great stadium. I love the fact that it's so close you could walk to Fremont Street, right where we're at right now. You can walk right over to the stadium. It's convenient. There's not a parking headache there. You don't have to deal with a lot of crap. It's just nice, easy in, easy out for the most part. Just depends on if you're entering off Maryland Parkway or off of Las Vegas Boulevard, right? I mean, that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. It's incredibly actually located to all parts of Las Vegas, and it's on the world famous Las Vegas Boulevard. And it's right as downtown continues to grow. I say we're going to turn this into the Fenway Park or Wrigley Field of soccer, right? It certainly, it's an old stadium. It has a lot of character. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the new venues around town, but it works absolutely perfect for us. And I'll tell you what, you and your family can have a great time on a Saturday night at an affordable price at one of our games at Cashman Field.
And you're drawing a huge crowd. You're outdrawing the baseball games that were there, which I went to many of those games. You're filling the house, aren't you? You're putting 10,000 butts in those seats, aren't you?
Yeah, we're averaging fans with 4th out of 35 teams this year, so we still have room to go. By no means are we resting on our laurels, but I think we've reopened everyone's eyes locally as to what Cashman Field used to be and what it can still be. And obviously, baseball is different than soccer, and they're playing up to 7 days a week, and we're playing on Saturday night. So I hate the direct comparison to the old baseball team that was there, but we're really proud of what we've created. I think we've opened a lot of eyes and continue to open a lot of eyes of not just soccer in America, not just soccer in Las Vegas, but what we can do in that neighborhood and in that part of town.
So, Brett, is there a possibility as the lights grow, is it possible to expand on that stadium? Would the county or the city actually work with you on that?
So, right, and stadiums and public money, and there's lots of layers to that. But the reality is, it's 50 plus acres of development ready, pad ready site. Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman very strongly and very vocally tried to pitch that location for the new Raider Stadium. So the answer is yes, you could do a lot on that site, and the city actually is in conversations with the developer right now and a pursuit of a Major League Soccer team for that site and a bigger stadium. But there obviously is a balance there between wanting it and how do you pay for it.
Okay. All right. Well, I like the idea of expanding the stadium if possible, because that's always a big winner. I mean, look at it this way. If you're outdrawing the baseball team that played there, that means the people have a real feel for what you're bringing, but you bring some different stuff, folks. This is a really interesting guy, and he runs some incredible promotions and gets everybody involved. Even the FAA gets involved, don't they, Brett?
Yeah, so I always we wear it with a badge of honor that in year one, for a variety of reasons we can get into, SportsIllustrated.com called us the most interesting team in America, and I guess at that point, when you're young and you're still finding your sea legs and your identity, there's two things you can do when a national publication calls you that. You can kind of shy away and get back in line with everyone, can look around now. We are, and how do we continue to become and stay the most interesting in America? And I'm a big believer, and people will say, hey, you got to win and you got to do it. And listen, we have put an enormous amount of resources behind making sure that we are between the white lines, going to achieve big things, right? From the coaches, from the players. We take the 90 minutes serious, but I'm a big believer. It's still Saturday night. It's still Las Vegas, and I can't guarantee goals. I can't guarantee wins, but I can sure as hell guarantee you a smile. I can guarantee you're going to have a good time. And we, as a staff, really embrace that when we put on these games.
See, that's half the battle. A lot of times people will go to a sporting event. Here's what I find in our last couple of minutes of the segment is a lot of people go to a sporting event and they'll be busy just talking to one another, maybe drinking their beer or whatever it is that they're drinking, having their hot dog, whatever the hell it is. But the fact is, they're not paying attention to what's going on the field, because it's almost like they're more interested in their handheld device than what's going on the field. But see, what you've done is you've changed that culture in your stadium. When your team's playing, those fans are engaged and they have an attachment to those lovely colors that you've got on right now.
Yeah, I always say you don't have to be a soccer fan to enjoy a lights game, right? I always start with, do you like soccer? And if they say no, I say, do you like sports? No. Do you like Las Vegas? No. Do you like to have a good time? If the answer is still no, honestly, I don't want them coming, right? They're just going to be a downer, right?
Right.
But if I can get you to answer any of those four questions, I know I'm going to give you a good time on Saturday night.
I mean, who doesn't like Las Vegas anyway? Who's going to say, I don't like Las Vegas? Well, what the heck are you doing here if you don't like it? Get out of here.
Yeah, and listen, I'm a big believer that sports brings this intangible civic community pride, right? And for Las Vegas, by Las Vegas, of Las Vegas, right? And there's something where we can all come together, right? And I'm just a huge believer that when it's done right, sports can be that thing that brings everyone together. And years ago, it was Jerry Tarkanian and the Running Rebels. Then I felt like there was a real gap in this community of really something to bring us all together. Obviously, what the Golden Knights did a couple years ago and continue to do, have filled a great, wonderful void. But I think it's opened everyone's eyes as to what sports can be. And again, we're coming in at a different price point and a different. We're not the Golden Knights, and we're happy with that, right? But there's a real niche for the most popular sport in the world and the most entertaining city in the world.
I would agree. And the funny thing is, when you talk about hockey, you say, okay, now we have a second hockey team in town, which I think that is, they're going to cannibalize their own market. I think it's a bad move, me personally. I think it's too much hockey in one city. You already have a really good team. Why would you bring another team in to maybe you want to cannibalize the market? Problem is, it kind of drags the dollar in different directions, and I think it creates a little divide, and I don't think that they did right for themselves. But at the end of the day, we have great hockey here, but guess what? We have even better soccer, and we're here with Brett Lashbrook. We're going to be back here in just a few minutes. Check them out at LasVegasLightsFC.com. Check them out. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go anywhere.